Hello and welcome along to the channel. Now on this video we're going to take a walk which goes from Blackfriars, which is on the north bank of the Thames, and we're going to walk to Westminster. Now the route itself isn't too far. It's about, I reckon it's going to be about a 15 to 20 minute walk. But what you get is you get a fantastic view as you walk alongside the side of the Thames, which is beautiful. Now we've done it the other way before on the south bank, so giving you views across the north bank. But what we haven't done is we haven't done it from the north bank, giving you views of the south bank, which is going to be great. Now for those of you that are crane spotters out there, yes, there are going to be a few cranes, right? Just letting you know. But what we'll do to start with is show you Blackfriars Bridge. And what you can see in front of you are the red piers where the old Blackfriars Bridge used to go across, the old railway bridge. But they moved it about, as you can see, no more than about 50 metres. Now there used to be 3 piers going across, but you can see 2. And the third pier, which will be the one on the left as you look at it, has been used as part of the bridge support. So they used one of the piers and left the other 2 there, and they've just left them there. So that's where the old Blackfriars Bridge used to go across. So the bridge going across now in front of it is a railway bridge, and this is Blackfriars Road Bridge. Now you can't actually walk underneath it at the moment because they're doing lots and lots of renovation work.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again?
And we're back. Right, we speeded that bit up so we could get past all the building works that are going on here on the bank of the River Thames. Now let's give you a view. So across we have the sea containers, which is an old wharf which has been transformed into a very nice hotel, and then next to it you have the Oxo building. And the reason it's called the Oxo building is, let's just zoom it in on that. On the chimney on the top there you can see the words Oxo. Now this was owned by the company that owned Oxo, but you can't advertise on the south bank of the Thames, it's frowned upon, so no advertising could be allowed. So mysteriously all of a sudden the windows of the tower spell out Oxo for some unknown reason in the architecture, so that's how they got around it. There you go. Now also over there as well, just go down a little bit, you can see Gabriel's Wharf. Now Gabriel's Wharf has a beach on it, which is beautiful. When the tide goes out, it's a sandy beach in central London. And if you haven't seen our video on Gabriel's Wharf, I'll put a link to that in the top right hand corner for you. So as we swoop round the Thames, you can also see the London Eye. So we're going to go past that, going all the way to Westminster Bridge, which of course is where Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament are also situated right opposite the London Eye. So you can see we're not going that far, but the river does really stretch round to the left quite a bit at this position. So it's a lovely day. We've also got the boats on the Thames as well, so we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll show you some of the other things on the south bank from the north bank. Now, if you want to do this a different way, we're going to walk it, but if you want to do it a different way, you can. You can get one of the bikes, one of the Santander hire bikes, and there is a fantastic cycle lane which goes right up the side of the north bank here on the embankment. So there's no car, so it's nice and safe. So if you fancy taking that instead of walking it, that is another way, another alternative to actually doing it. Okay, let's get back. One of the things to be really, really mindful of, and you're going to see loads of them, is you've got lots of runners running alongside here as well. It's like a main runner's thoroughfare going from the city to Westminster. Far too energetic for me. I think we'll have a gentle stroll. So in the middle you've got barges which are all moored up in the middle of the Thames for use at some point to carry their cargo. Now the building which you can see there in the scaffolding is the old London Weekend Television Tower. So they used to have TV studios there, which used to broadcast all sorts of stuff. So they look like they're having a big renovation that's there. Now, one of the things you will see on the Thames are these are the river cruises, which you can get. This is the London Eye River Cruise, as you can see. And guess where you get it from? Yep, London Eye. They are expensive. So, my suggestion would be, get yourself on an Uber boat and you can see exactly what you can see on those, but a lot cheaper. Let's continue down. Now, as you walk down, there are other piers where you can get cruise boats. So not just the ones from the London Eye, and also you can get them from Westminster Pier as well. But actually I've done it several times, it's fantastic. Get an Uber boat, also known as a Thames Clipper, a river bus, and that will take you up and down the Thames. Now on the other side, I'll show you in just one second. Oh, we've got a police box here. So this is a police box, no longer in use. But if people were in trouble and they wanted to get hold of the police, they could go into the hatch, pick up the phone and call the police. Not in use any longer, but they've left them around. There's a number of them around London. And of course, one of the most famous police boxes, which is a TARDIS shape, so if you're a Doctor Who fan you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's one of those still standing over at Earl's Court, and we've got a video for that. Put that up in the top right hand corner as well. We've got a video for that showing the old Doctor Who type police box, but there's a number of them still around. Now if we look down the Thames, not only can you see the London Eye over there, but if we zoom in you can see Big Ben to the right of the London Eye, so you can see where we're going to walk around. Okay, enough of this waffling, should we carry on? Yeah, why not? Oh, no more red telephone box. Great for your photo opportunities. Now on the other side of the Embankment, because that's the road we're walking down, it's the Victoria Embankment, we've got Walled-off Gardens, we've got some very nice properties. But in a minute they'll open up. You've got public gardens over there, which we've also covered before, and there's some beautiful public gardens which so many people don't know exists. So at the moment we're in the City of London. And how do I know that? You see this? Let's go around the other side and have a look. This is the entrance to the City of London, and we're just about to leave the City of London. So you've got a plaque here, and the plaque says, "These dragons represent constituent parts of the admiral bearings of the City of London and have been erected," wait for the motorway to go, "to indicate the western boundary of the city of this commemorative plate." And it was unveiled by the Right Honourable Lord Mayor, Sir Ralph Edgar Herring, I think that says, on the 16th of October 1965. And these dragons were formerly mounted above the entrance to the City of London Coal Exchange, which was demolished in 1963. So let's give you a close-up of that. So, if you're around London and you see that, that's because you are entering into the boundaries of the City of London. There's a number of these around. And also, just to make it really clear, you've got them on the other side of the road as well. Just to keep him company. Okay, so we've gone from the City of London and we are now in Westminster. And on the other side we have one of the small parks. It's a park at Temple, and lots of people wonder how far it is on underground lines between. As I always say, it's always worth looking on the map because it's never that far. So we've just walked from Blackfriars and we're at Temple Station already. And Temple Station is the next station along on the Circle and District lines. Now we've got the HQS Wellington, which is open for people to go on and have a look at. Adults £7.50, so it's an old boat. There we go. The headquarters ship, formerly the HMS Wellington, is a former. Let's just give you a good view of that whilst we're telling you more about it. The sun's coming out. But basically, it's a former Second World War convoy escort vessel built in Devonport. Bought in Devonport in 1934, 1,300 ton displacement Grimsby class sloop, one of 13 vessels built in the class. At the outbreak of the Second World War, HMS Wellington returned home and assumed convoy escort duties in the North Atlantic between Britain and Sierra Leone. She's the last surviving ship of the class that saw action in World War II, and she survived a gruelling 6-year spell of 103 convoy missions, mainly in the North Atlantic and West Africa, including a rescue mission close to Dunkirk and the rescue of over 450 survivors from the sea. HQS Wellington is registered on the Historic Ships Register and is part of the National Historic Fleet. And you can go on board, have a look, for £7.50 for adults, and children and students are free. Yeah, and it's open at most Sundays and Mondays if you're interested from 11 till 5 o'clock, but you've got to book online. And that's at thewellingtontrust.org. There you go. And there was me thinking it had just been left there for some time. It is a beautiful day in London. The sun is shining. It's fantastic, showing London in its glory, glittering on the Thames. Lovely. So over the other side, you've got in Victoria Embankment Gardens. And then you've got the Temple Station, and we're actually walking parallel with the Strand at the moment. And also it's quite handy because as you go down, you've got some of these plaques as well, just showing you what you're seeing on the other side. And as the sun's gone in for a bit, we can show you. So over there on the other side, you've got the South Bank, you've got the Royal Festival Hall, which is currently showing Romeo and Juliet. And then you've got the London Eye. You can make out the green building just to the left of that. That's the South Bank Centre. And the bridge we're looking at in front of us, with all the buses going across, is Waterloo Bridge. Right, let's continue. Our gentle stroll. Now, above Temple Station, which you can see over there, has been an art display, which is on until April this year. It's been on for nearly a year. And it's all multicoloured. Again, we've got another video on that. If you just put it in Temple, you'll find that in our collection. They've made lots and lots of different coloured maps up there, all in different colours, to make it a lot more pleasant to look over the Thames with. Right, we're passing another boat here, but this is used for people to get married on or have ceremonies or come and have meals, etc. Got a lot of those down here. There's another one there. Bar and Co. Party boat, which is all set up. There we go, that's nice. All the boats going across, all the buses going across Waterloo Bridge. There we go, we've got more river cruises going down the Thames as well. Now, looking on the other side of the embankment, we have Somerset House. Which is also rather beautiful. It's on our list of places we've got to go and visit and bring you. The Somerset House has been there for years. We quite often go to Somerset House at Christmas because they have an amazing ice skating rink in the foyer. They do all sorts of things at Somerset House in the sort of quadrangle they've got outside all the way through the year. So that's the back of Somerset House. So you can see the boat that's gone underneath Waterloo Bridge, and the bridge after that is the Golden Jubilee Bridge, also known as the Hungerford Bridge, which actually is one of my favourite ones because it gives you fantastic views to the city. So just swoop round and give you a view from here, and you can see the City of London, and you can also see the Docklands off in the background as well. So there's the City of London on the left, and in the middle, in the shadow just at the back there, that is Canary Wharf. Have very friendly wildlife here waiting for scraps of food. Thank you, Mr. Seagull. Are you about to go? Yeah, possibly. Let's continue. He's a bit cheesed off. I haven't got anything for him. So here, also just underneath Waterloo Bridge, you have the RNLI, which is the Lifeboat Institute. So if people get caught in the Thames and they've got problems around this part, this is where the lifeboats come out, rescue them. So walking along underneath Waterloo Bridge, just walking along underneath side here. I've got another docking station, so if you want to get a bike, so you've decided you've walked enough and want to get a bike, you can do, just here. But also tucked away underneath, which I didn't know, is an establishment called Proud Embankment. Wow. And it's showing a West Side Cabaret story, which is on now. So you've got a theatre right underneath Waterloo Bridge. Talk about making use of all space that you can. Wonderful. So as we continue, we've got a bigger park, which is the Victoria Embankment Gardens, which stretches here from Waterloo Bridge all the way through to Embankment Station, just by Charing Cross. And then it's got playgrounds and all the rest of it, but also during the summer the flowers are out and it's absolutely beautiful. They really do look after it and tend for it. So also coming up here is something that's 3,500 years old in London. And let's zoom in it because you get your best view from here of it, because when you're on top of it you can't see it. But it is Cleopatra's Needle, which came from Egypt. But when it came from Egypt, it'd been covered in dust and dirt and all the rest of it for years, and it was brought over from Alexandria on the back of tugboats. And it's actually 3,500 years old. So that's there. And as we go around, you can also see Big Ben, the House of Parliament, so the Palace of Westminster, and the London Eye as well. moving at its normal very slow rate around, so people get some really good views from that. If you've never been to see Cleopatra's Needle, it is well worth coming to take a visit here. Nearest tube station will be Embankment, but you can still see the hieroglyphics on the side of the obelisk, which is held here. It's lovely, it really is. Beautiful. If you want to know more as well about the Victoria Embankment Park, there is a video on that, which you can find in our collection. But the idea of this is just to show you how small London really is. And what you can see, because it's a lovely walk, lovely stroll along the side of the bank of the river, providing the weather is in your favour, of course. Because if it's not, it's horrendous. And in which case, I'd get a tube train and stick on that for a bit. Right, that's Cleopatra's Needle. As I say, you're not going to get much of a view. From there. (1819) the obelisk was put up. Couldn't remember that, 1819. So looking across the river, we have the Royal Festival Hall. You can hear the Thames gently lapping on the steps by the obelisk here. More tour boats and restaurants here at the side.
Feeling is all gone. Feeling is all gone. If I could take you back to my youth.
Let's just look back across the city, and from this angle you can also see St Paul's Cathedral. Looking at you from the middle of Waterloo Bridge, and for that you can get right to the top of the dome outside and get amazing views across London. And there's a video on that as well. If you fancy having a look on the channel.
Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong.
So also another way you could do this, if you wanted to see it from the water, is this is Embankment Pier. So you can get tickets, get on the Thames Clipper Uber boat, and it's the next station along, funnily enough, from Blackfriars. So that's another way of doing it if you fancy doing it on the river. Can't emphasise enough, it's fantastic getting on those boats and going down. We've walked another station already, that's Embankment. So that's 2 stops away from Blackfriars, where we started. And the next stop on the Uber boat is where we're heading to next, which is Westminster and Westminster Pier. And I can see that they're digging up again. if you're coming up with
Down
the views
5,200.
from the Golden Jubilee Bridge, you have a choice. You can go on either side of the bridge. There's a pedestrian walkway on both sides of the bridge, so you can go one way and get the view of the London Eye and Westminster Bridge, or you can go on the other side and get the views of the City of London and St Paul's. Take your pick. But also, it depends when you do it, if you're doing it by day or by night. Now, they've completely dug this bit up here, so we're going to cross the road. Go right by Whitehall Gardens, which is the next park. See, people don't realise these parks exist here on the banks and the Embankment. Oh, we've got a video on this one as well. But once upon a time, the Thames used to cover this whole area and used to go in quite a bit. It actually covered all these gardens and used to go to where those buildings were. That's how wide the Thames was at one point. But they moved it out. Underneath these gardens is exactly where the Circle and the District lines run. So they did sort of a cut and cover, and they also put in drainage and sewage systems, etc. for London. So it was worth doing. They're definitely lovely parks. And the Thames is still quite wide now, but they still keep digging it out by the side. Now it looks like we have a reprieve. We can stop the building work and we can get back onto the other side of the embankment for our final part of our journey. Get a good view across to the London Eye and the South Bank.
Feeling is all gone. Feeling is all gone. Feeling is all gone.
If you're crossing the road like I am here, you can be so careful because this is a cycle lane. But it can be very busy, especially during peak times, because lots of people use it. So it's like I'm about to be, let's get on the path, almost run over. So you've got to be so careful. We've got another bar boat here. And that's a good one because then you get a nice view of the London Eye from there. So you've got some fantastic vantage points here as well from Embankment looking across. That's Big Ben chiming the court of the hour, if you can catch that. Not only you've got the London Eye, but then you've got the view back across the city as well. So that's the Battle of Britain Memorial on the Embankment. Right over from that, you have the headquarters of London's police force, which is New Scotland Yard. Headquarters of Metropolitan Police. And then off in the distance there, you can see Big Ben. That's how close we are. So we've walked from Blackfriars to Westminster Bridge, which is a number of bridges, 3 stations, 3 stops on the Thames Clipper in about 20 minutes. That's a bit of a slow pace as well, just to show you some of the sights here as well. So taking it easy. So if you have got a lovely day and you're at Blackfriars, get out and walk. Walk down to Westminster, you'll see a lot more. What I'll also say is if it's a nice day and you're doing that, you'll avoid the crowds on the trains, because most of them will be getting off at Westminster. But also, if you decide to do it by bike, the good news is you have a docking point here as well, so you can put your bike in here. You can park up your bike and leave it behind. So, just show you the final views. We've got Westminster Bridge in green going across the Thames with the buses going across it. London Eye. And then a view back for the walk that we've just done around the Arch of the Thames. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our walk going from Blackfriars to Westminster. And as you can see, you've got Big Ben behind me and the Houses of Parliament. Now, what a lot of people don't know is you can get into the Houses of Parliament completely free when they're in session and actually watch what's going on in the debating chambers of both the House of Commons and also the House of Lords as well. Now, you can't take photos, you can't take video, so we can't show you what it's like in there. But one place you can film inside is Westminster Hall, which is the oldest part of the Parliament building. So I'm going to leave you with that video up in the top right hand corner. So click on that and we'll see you in there. Thanks for watching.